Hi, students. This is your video overview for week 3. You can see it is a very intense week. It's a really long module. So plan ahead. Um, for the first couple of days, you're going to be replying to my comments on your graded essay ones, putting the finishing touches on your essay 2. Make sure to go through the do's and don'ts for essay 2. Um, I also put up a video about strategies for writing conclusions because some students were struggling with that. And I am not going to be available very much today. I'm recording this on Tuesday. Um, but the due date for the final draft of essay 2 has been pushed back to tomorrow, Wednesday, July 6th. And I should be, and I have my regular office hours between 12 and 2. And I know some of you had last minute questions about your essay 1 final drafts. I'm often not available at night, but so I often can't answer those last minute questions at night. But tomorrow, Wednesday, July 6th, I have my regular office hours 12 to 2, and I'm available by appointment um, tomorrow between like 10 and I think I have between like 10 and 3:30. So if you want to go over your draft of essay 2 with me on Zoom, I'd be happy to do that with you. But if you're not going to come in during my office hours between 12 and 2, which is kind of first come, first served, email me about an appointment and we can go over your rough draft before you turn in the final draft if you want. You have a Think Aloud due this Friday, so look ahead. The partners are listed here and further on in the module. Reach out to your partner by Wednesday so you guys can make a plan. Okay, on Thursday and Friday, you're going to start this week's reading. And the main thing that I want to give you a heads up about is you're reading 3 Shakespearean sonnets and 2 persona poems, which are also a few hundred years old. So the language in five of these poems is incredibly challenging and difficult. So I really encourage you to read these tips I have here for tackling poems with difficult language. And I also really encourage you to use your Think Aloud time with your partner as a time to really wrestle with that language. It's amazing how much it helps to just read the poems out loud, even when you just think, I don't understand what any of these words mean. Resist the urge to try to Google a poem or find things out about it before you do the Think Aloud. Just you're going to have one of the poems is going to be assigned to you as a Think Aloud. Remember, the Think Alouds are just graded on completion. It's not about being right about the poem. It's about you and your partner getting together and just trying to figure it out. So seize the opportunity to tackle a Shakespeare sonnet with a partner, not being sure what you're doing, and just give it a shot. The worst that can happen is you misinterpret the poem. That's often how we begin when we're working with a poem. But if you do that, if you engage with it honestly with your partner, if you follow the instructions for the Think Aloud, if you take the notes and do all that, you're going to get 100 on your notes and you're going to get 100 on your Think Aloud. So then later on, we're going to discuss all these poems together, and that may help you understand them even better. But for the Think Aloud, don't be afraid to just go in having only read the poem once, or maybe not having read it at all. It's about just being present and trying to figure out the poem together. So you're reading 3 Shakespeare sonnets, a couple persona poems, then you're reading a contemporary poem by the poet Beth Ann Fennelly. You're doing your Think Aloud, that's due Friday. You're also, by Friday, you're going to read the short story Cathedral by Raymond Carver and take a quiz on it. Then on Saturday and Sunday, you're going to be discussing all the reading for the week with your classmates, and you see all the discussion threads there. And then you're going to take your midterm exam. Your midterm exam has two parts. The first part is a multiple choice test on literary terms. That's 30% of your grade on it. And then the second part is an explication. I gave you a choice of 3 poems for the essay part of the midterm. What do I want to tell you about that? The really important thing to tell you is that that the essay part of the midterm exam is a poetry explication. So a poetry explication is a very specific kind of essay. It's what you did for essay 1. So you want to go back and look at the instructions for essay 1. Maybe I've put all these resources on this page. Use these resources to prepare for the midterm. And what I've got here, this is everything you need to prepare for the midterm. An explanation of what's on the midterm, all the videos and handouts you need to do well on the literary terms section. And then all the resources. I've got all these essay 1 resources here, and that's because for this essay, for the midterm essay, you're writing a poetry explication again, and that's what you did on essay 1. So you want to review the rubric for essay 1, the instructions for essay 1, the video for essay 1, the sample poetry explication, all that stuff to just get it back in your head, because on essay 2, you were writing kind of a regular literary analysis paper, which was different, but now you're jumping back to just writing a play-by-play of a poem, which is what a poetry explication is. So you want to refresh your memory about how to do that before you write your midterm essay exam. You might also look at the do's and don'ts for essay 1. All that you might look over. I would highly recommend you look over your comments on your essay 1 and your graded essay 1s, just to kind of refresh your memory about what a poetry explication is. Okay, so then you're writing the midterm exam. You're doing the multiple choice part of it, which should take you about 10 minutes. And then you're doing the essay part of it. And if my computer catches up to us, we'll look over the end of the module for the week. It's actually taken me too far. And that's last week. Okay, so you're going to take the midterm, and then just a reminder, the 3 library workshops are due a week from Sunday, on Sunday, July 17th. So make sure you're registering for those and taking those. We're reading the book What the Living Do by, we're reading it next week. You're going to have reading due in it by next Wednesday for sure. We're going to read the whole book next week. And so you want to make sure to get that. And that's it. Let me know if you have any questions.